I know this feeling. Being with you, it just sounds so appealing. You was the realest, and you held it down and you handled your business. I'm ready and willing. Tell me what you need for you to be in this. We started, we finished. Damn right, we started, let's finish. You text back, it's about time. I've been waiting for you on cloud nine.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Wojax, a.k.a. Wojax, Mr. Warren Jackson here. I'm here with my boy, Carlos YaBoy. He's in the Mutimatic Studios today. We're going to talk a little bit about his upcoming projects and the projects he's working on. Welcome to the studio, man.
What's
welcome
up?
To the
What's
studio.
Good?
We it's kind of cool outside here, but I'm glad to have you here, man, and ready to get it on, get these questions going on, man. I mean, what's been going on with you?
Oh man, I just been grinding, busy. Okay. Trying to get everything together. Today is March 13th.
Okay.
So as of right now, I just dropped my Deja Vu single.
Okay.
Off the upcoming project FreeMan.
That's what's up.
So it's your boy Los.
Okay.
YaBoyLos. Go ahead, check that out.
Get it right, people. Get it right.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, you name it, it's there.
Okay,
so go ahead.
That's what's up. So, let me ask you a quick question. What's your dream collab as far as what's the artist you'd like to work with the most?
Man,
who would you like to work with?
So, if I could have my dream collab, it would be I would have to give you like 2 or 3 different situations.
Okay.
Because I can't just give you one.
Okay, throw it out.
So the first one would be me and J. Cole.
That's my guy.
So J. Cole is like, he's like my hero. You know what I'm saying? He's my guy.
That's interesting. Okay.
You know what I mean? Another one would have to be Nas.
Okay.
So if
Legend.
Legend. Icon.
Legend.
He had this one song where he was like, name one rapper that didn't take something from me. I'll wait.
Yeah.
And I was like, man.
Because the thing about Nas, man, as far as his longevity in the business, you know what I'm saying? This guy was there in the beginning of a lot of people's careers, man. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Biggie, he was there. You know what I mean? How do you not, you know what I'm saying? It's New York. Yeah.
Man, Nas was so hot. So first of all, I used to bump Nas in the car seat. That was my, you know what I mean? Like just rocking in the car seat, bumping Nas. And I was rocking with Nas so heavy that before I ever even heard a Jay-Z song, I wasn't messing with Jay-Z because the Ether came out.
That Ether, let me tell you something about that Ether, man. That if there was one song that to me like defined, well, there's a few songs of Nas, but as far as like hip hop beef, as far as like that song, the first time I heard that song, man, I couldn't even wrap my mind to what was said. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like seeing something like that's so shocking to you. Like, how did that happen? Like, oh my gosh, like this changed the game.
Right. That was the hottest diss track I think I've ever heard to this day. And it was just I was just bumping it like, I don't know who Jay-Z is yet, but
yeah, right.
I ain't messing with him. Don't even play Jay-Z around me.
The thing, and I think what was the thing that made it so interesting as far as like from a hip hop standpoint is because we've had beefs before. You always hear people like, I mean, I don't want to date myself as far as the age, but we've had like old school like in the LL and some of the other rappers and stuff. But I think at that point in that time, like they were two heavyweights in the game.
Yeah.
And they're in one city.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And when I don't know how the beef started. You guys would know, everybody would know how that actually started. But man, I tell you what, it's like Nas that came up with was like, okay, I'm gonna set the record straight. And to this day, you hear the word ether, you know what?
Ether to make your soul burn slow.
Man,
man, you could play that right now.
Man.
And it'll get it jumping.
And and hearing you talk about that, it seems like a lot of the artists that you like to work with have like a big East Coast influence. Is that what you're kind of geared towards as far as like your favorite style as far as artists, region wise?
So when I was coming up, I was heavily influenced by the art of hip hop. Okay. So it wasn't always like nowadays. If you ask like the younger generation, even younger than me, they mess with the people who got the most money,
right.
Who got the most, the most clothes, the most fits, most guns.
Right,
that's who they rock with. Whoever got the most, whatever.
Right.
But for me, when I was coming up, my dad used to work at a radio station, so when he would take me, I would just sit there and, you know, I would just soak it all in. You know, he used to work at 96.5, and I used to just sit there and I would just listen to everything that played, and I would study the music. Like, J. Cole has this line in one of his songs, and it's like, I used to take Nas raps and put them up on my wall. My homies thought they was words, but it was pictures I saw. You know what I mean? So, like, So right. Like, that's the way I studied the game. And then when I heard J. Cole say that, because I can't remember I can't remember what song that's from. I think it's like Let Nas Down. Okay. I think. Mm-hmm. But that was one of the first songs I heard from J. Cole. And when I heard him say that, I was like, whoa, that's crazy, because that's how I used to look at raps. So, like, when I was coming up, it was Nas, and then it was Tupac, and I know a lot of people have that in reverse order. Yeah. But it was only because Nas was still coming out with music as I was growing up. Right. And Tupac had that cutoff where he had a lot of hits and he had a lot of classics. But then, you know, he died. Right. So he wasn't putting out new music. It was just recycling stuff. And I think what the point that I think that you're getting at with Nas is of course, it's the longevity thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I just think that it's just the respect he has in hip hop, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's crazy, man? I was like browsing through some radio stations or something. I was like on Sirius or something like that. And there's a song that came out. It was like a Justin Bieber song, and it was like featuring Nas. I'm like, like what? Huh? But it just goes to show like the respect that he has. Mm-hmm. I mean, not even just hip hop, and music in general. You know, this dude was doing, you know what I'm saying, doing vodka and commercials. Like, you know, as a hip hop artist. Like he made. I was like, hold up, vodka. I usually let me see what you're talking about.
Asco.
Paulo, like
Asco is a guy, man. But getting back to your album and you, because the future's yours. I mean, what can we expect from the album? Like, what? I mean, we had gotten to a conversation earlier as far as like your game plan and what you think about the album. What can fans and people expect from the album?
I think that I am the most versatile artist out right now. So when you listen to this album, I'm gonna show all of that off to you. Nice. That's one thing you can expect. Another thing you can expect, if you listened to me before, you know that I like to talk about real stuff and, you know, how the world is for us. And so the album is called FreeMan, and that's kind of inspired from a couple different places. So I don't know if you remember the Boondocks. Yes. But, you know, the Boondocks got two main characters, Huey and Riley, right? Huey and Riley Freeman. Right. So on the one hand, you got Huey, and he's intellectual, and he's, you know, this is the struggle we going through, and this is the plight, and this is this, and this is that, and this is how we can break free of the chains, and you a slave, and I'm a slave. And then on the other hand, you got Riley. And Riley's like, man, fuck all that. Yeah. Just fuck all that. I'm trying to get this money. Right. I'm trying to be in these streets. Da. And you can see they brothers, but they two sides of the same coin. So that was the first thing that I took away from Freeman. The second thing was, even right now today, it feels like we're all slaves to something. So some of us are slaves to the streets and that lifestyle. Some of us are locked up. True. We're slaves to the system. Truth. Some of us are slaves to, you know, being in love, romance, and man, I love her so much, and if she leave me, I don't know what'll happen to me. Right. You know, there's so many things that we're slaves to right now. The whole idea of this is that if you take a second and figure out what are these things you're struggling with, okay, this is what I'm a slave to. So maybe it's your financial situation. Maybe it's just money. Maybe it's you're a slave to the fact that I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get this money. Right, wrong, or whatever. You a slave to that.
That's true.
So when you listen to this album, you can expect, if you go from start to finish, there's 13 tracks. The first one, I'm going to break it down for you. We all slaves to something. Then, you know, the next couple are going to be a little more gritty. Okay, he's talking about that lifestyle.
Okay.
And
right.
they a little fun.
Okay.
They fun. But we talking about that lifestyle. Okay, that's what you slave to the streets.
Right.
Then I'm gonna bring it back in for you. All right, now he's getting real. He's still talking about what we slaves to, but it's real now. Then I switch up the vibe a little bit. I got a little interlude in there and Deja Vu, which is my love song that I put on here.
Dope.
You know, it's
dope song.
Yeah,
dope.
It's fire. So if you haven't heard it, go listen to Deja Vu. I'm telling you, if you love R&B and rap, that's the one for you.
Yes.
Because I wrote this song for anybody to be able to sing it. Because I noticed that melodic rap is a thing now. So when you listen to melodic rap, people just like to sing. People just like to tell me what you want from me.
Yeah.
Like, people just want to sing. They don't really care what they singing.
Right.
But this is something that you can sing, and whether you can sing or not, there's levels to it. So, like, some of it is like that Drake type, where it's like I'm just stretching the words out.
Yeah.
And some of it is I'm singing.
Yeah.
So wherever you fall in between there, you can still sing along to it. And then after I do that, I get back to being real again. Then one more gritty one.
Yeah.
And then I close it out with some real stuff. So
this is it's more or less like you just taking people basically through a journey, like you're saying, and that's what people want. When people put an album on, they want to be able to play from start to finish, and then once they get done, like, man, I want to hear the whole thing over again.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah. So like when I was in 8th grade, I think it was 8th grade, I found this old tape recorder in my mom's house.
Okay.
Found this old tape recorder. And I had this, I had an NWA tape, and I had a Commodore's tape.
Okay.
Right? So, like, on the tape recorder, you can't pick and choose the song. You just let it play. So, like, I wanted to make something where it was kind of like a throwback, where you didn't have to pick which song. You could just let it play all the way through.
Exactly.
You know, I'm going to take you there. We gonna hit all the vibes. We're going to hit all these different flows, all these different styles, but it's all going to fit. So, like, if you listen to it in order, it's different. Like, every couple tracks are different from these other couple tracks, but they still fit. It makes sense.
It's like basic pieces to a puzzle. Right. And that's what you want, because sometimes, like, you hear, like, you might hear an album, somebody has one song, it's like, and the next song, one song is real good, the next song is kind of like, eh. And, you know, people don't want to hear that. People want something that's consistent. You see what I'm saying? They want something consistent that they can enjoy, not something good and then a filler track, and then something good and the filler track, because they sure you're not putting in the work. You see what I'm saying? People want stuff that's authentic, it sounds good, you can play it from the beginning to the end. And I'm sure from what I heard, the album, fire.
Man.
It's gonna be fire.
Hey, you said it.
It's gonna be fire.
I don't even have to. You said
what inspired you to start, like, writing in general? Like, what inspired you to do that?
So we talked about it a little bit earlier. My dad used to work at 96.5 when I was growing up, and he would always just be talking about. He used to, what was his name on the radio? Big Game Fountain.
Okay.
Big Game Fountain. And he used to tell me he was a celebrity all the time. Big Game Fountain.
Yeah.
So, like, me and him is at the studio one time, and a song comes on. I can't remember the song, but I was listening to the song, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like 6 or 7, and I'm thinking to myself, I thought of these words before.
Wow.
Right? So it was later that day, we back at the house, or the apartment, and I just started writing some words down. And it was my first song. It was like probably like 3 bars.
Okay.
But that was my first one.
Right.
So then after that, I would always be writing something or humming or singing, and you just couldn't get it out of me. Like, I used to get kicked out of class because I wouldn't stop singing.
You just had a passion for it.
It was just, it's my thing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, like, you look at LeBron, and he's 6'9", 270.
Yeah.
He was born to do something. You can look at him and tell whether it's basketball, football, if he decided to play hockey. He was born to do something. You can look at him and tell. You might not be able to see it when you look at me, but this is what I was born for. You know what I mean?
It's always, like you say, even like the great artists and like the great, I mean, not just music, you know, filmmakers, you know what I'm saying? There's always something that inspires. I mean, there's always that person that's like, oh, what are you doing that for? Like, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing that. But if they have the feeling that they want to keep pushing it and they got a passion for it, I mean, that's how true success is going to happen in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You can't let people tell you not to do it. You just got to keep pushing through.
So one of the things with me is I had to stop making music to realize that's what I wanted to do.
Wow, that okay, I can see that. Okay.
So I think I recorded my first song when I was in 9th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. And it was me, Kendall Fly, Breeze, and Coach Peso.
Okay.
Shout out to my man, Coach Peso. You know, I got my little jug running bag right here, my jugging on campus bag. But that was my first song I ever made. And like I had written a whole bunch of like freestyles and stuff like that. That's the time when Lil Wayne was dropping No Ceilings.
Okay.
And he was real hot.
Okay.
So like Lil Wayne changed the game and it made it so anybody can rap. Mm-hmm. You don't have to even rap about a specific thing. Just put some metaphors together and try to think outside the box.
Right.
And put as many crazy metaphors together and just throw it out there, and that's a song. And he changed the game to where it was anybody could rap. Now, as long as I can think of something crazy and make you go, oh, wow, man, cuz tripping.
Yeah, right.
Now I can rap.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's in that time that I started rapping. And I had a whole bunch of songs like that. And people would always be like, oh, you sound like Wayne. You sound like Wayne. And at first, it's like, yeah, I sound like Wayne. Yeah, I sound like Wayne. But then it was to the point where, is that what I want to sound like? Because I always think of music as like an art. It's an art form. Mm-hmm. But if I'm only doing one thing and the one thing I'm doing sounds like something that someone else is doing, is it still art?
Yeah.
Or is it just imitation?
It doesn't feel authentic to you.
It didn't.
Right.
So I got to the point where I stopped making music, and I went off to school, went off to college. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to do all these other things that all these other people were telling me I could do. Oh, you so smart, you should go to school. Oh, why you hanging out and doing this? You should go to school. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, go do that. Right? Go do that. So I was like, okay, if you telling me I could do it, and everybody keep telling me I could do it,
right?
Can everybody be wrong? Let me go try this out.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, I go off to school and I stop making music. And I'm hearing songs on the radio, and it's like, man, I had a song just like that.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I said this before, but never recorded it. And it was like, I'm just sitting there thinking about, and I'm still writing verses in my head, but it's like I'm not putting them down nowhere. It's just. So then I got to the point where my last year at school, I said, you know what? I'm going to put something together. Mm-hmm. So I started writing. It's called The Last Semester. So I started writing. And this is at the time, I think this is like 2016, 2017. And rap is changing. Mm-hmm. It's like a slow change, but it's happening.
Right.
And I'm still trying to do stuff from the Lil Wayne school of thought. But now I'm listening to J. Cole. So now it's like a Lil Wayne with J. Cole influence to it. So I'm writing stuff and I'm figuring it out and I put it out. And the whole process of trying to write is like, whoa. Man, that was so much fun. Why haven't I been doing this?
Right.
Then I go to the studio and I record it and I hear everything for the first time and I'm like, whoa. That that could have blown. Like I know I lost a big part of my fan base when I stopped doing music these last couple years, but that could have been special.
Yeah.
So it's like not doing it for so long and then doing it was like when you really, really thirsty.
It was just so satisfying.
And you drink that ice. I don't even like water.
Yeah.
But when you real thirsty and you get some ice
it feel like your life changed.
You be like, bruh.
Yeah.
Where this been at?
Yeah. It feels like your life changed. And,
like what?
And it's interesting to hear you say that too. Like once you stop doing something, like you get into a rut where you're just kind of doing it, and then you're like, well, I'm just gonna stop, and then you realize how much you miss it. Like you miss how much of it was a part of you. Like you realize like. I need to be doing something. And then when you get like little nibbles and people saying you should be doing this, you start thinking to yourself, well, maybe I can. And then you really start hitting like, I need to focus on this. Like, this is it.
Like, this is it. Yeah. So like, I graduate and I come back and I make a couple things and I put out a couple singles. And every time I do something, like I take an idea that I had and I grow and I expand and I build and I put it down. And it's like, man, this is cold. Yeah. Why ain't I been doing this? And every time I do one, I want to do another one.
Right.
So it's like it's like having that hunger there, and instead of eating a meal, you eat like a cracker, or you eat a Snicker. I'm still hungry, but this feels good too.
That's good. Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like not doing it for all that time made me realize this is what I want to do.
That's interesting. Yeah, for sure. That's what it is, man. Anything else you want to touch on as far as album related? You got the projects you're coming on, or you got coming up, or your performances? Did you got any shows coming up that we can look forward to? Or
so the city of Lansing is putting on.
This is a big one. I'm trying to lead. This is a segue into this big one.
Tap in. So the city of Lansing is putting on a 420 Cannabis Festival show with Sada Baby, and there's a handful of Lansing artists and then a handful of artists from other places. So it's going to be a big festival. It's going to be on April 18th, as of right now. But with the coronavirus scare and being what it is, it's 40 days away, but we need a 30-day quarantine or state of emergency or whatever he wants to call it, and then 14-day quarantine afterwards. So timing-wise, they don't know if they can still do it on the 18th, but if they can't, they're going to push it back, and you'll still be able to, they'll honor all tickets, but they'll have it on a different day because everything's paid for, all the acts are selected, all that stuff. So they'll still have the show, it just might change dates. So that's the next show I got coming up.
Let me see, and that's the first time any kind of event like that has happened here in Lansing. You know what I'm saying? We have like the Common Ground and then the Prime Festival, but something like the 420, it should have been happening a long time ago.
Should have been.
It should have been a long
time.
And
I know
when
they announced it, people were like, "Oh, you guys can't do that."
Right.
That's 420. Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
And people was getting all mad, but then the city was like, "Yeah, we doing it."
Yeah.
So
this is a Cap City, man.
We locked in now.
That's dope, man. So, all right, man. Well, I think that's pretty much from my end. Any other questions? Anything else you want to say to all your fans, the peoples?
Man, I do want to say this because I tell people all the time, I don't have the biggest fan base. That's okay. But the fans I do got, they solid.
Nice.
They be rocking with me.
Right.
So all the people that have been rocking with me, I want you to know that I really appreciate that. Like, all the support that y'all give makes a difference. So, like, if I put out a song today, right? Let's say only 6 people listen to it. Those 6 people, they got them on repeat. They message me, "Hey, man, this fire, this like, whoa, I can't believe, man, this is a class."
That's what you want.
And every time I hear that, even if it's only 6 times, those 6 times make me go, you know what? I'm gonna do another one, and it's gonna be better. And when you listen to it,
the keyword in that is loyalty.
That's that loyalty. It makes me want to keep going.
Right.
The more love y'all show me. So to all the people that's in my fan base, thank you. Your support really does mean something.
Gotcha. Well, you heard it first. My name is Warren Jackson, a.k.a. Wojax. I'm with your boy Carlos, your boy. And that's it, folks. We are out of here, live from Muted Matter Studios. And any other thing?
Man, it's your boy Los. Tap in. Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Tidal, wherever you want to get your music, it's there.
Get it in.
YaBoyLos.
You heard it first.
Tap in with it.
Tap it in. Get it up. All right, we out. Peace.
Shit, fuck you talking about? Nigga, I'm self-made. No assistance, no oops, nigga. Boy, son. Damn right, I'm the nigga of the year. Yeah. Self-made, I don't even have peers. None. Never lacking, got a Glock, I keep it near. I want my ones, don't nobody interfere. No, she the one and I ain't talked to her in years. Hit the wood until I need the smoke to clear. Straight vodka sipping on that crystal clear. Houdini make your woman disappear. Poof, if my niggas sliding better high cause they gon' shoot. Kicking in your front door up the mag, now where the loop? I got niggas ducking 2 times, where the goose? Know your bitch my alibi, you seen us in the coupe. Really, I be laughing when I see you with her. Sending selfies to you, she just cropped me out the picture. I got Nina with me and she like it when I grip her. Feeling like Kawhi because the team's full of clippers. How your man's eating dog food like it's dinner. Nigga, I'm a shooter, shoulda listened to your coaches. Y'all some broke niggas, we got different kind of roaches. I don't need a Pasco, she gon' let me bust it open. Hill it till I fall asleep, my nigga, I be croaking. Feeling like I'm mellow, got the double O's. Knocking all the stuffing out your bubble coat. Stumped them in my Timbs until I scuffed them hoes. Smoke a dumb nigga like I'm Dragon Joe's. Went to state, moved a couple zips, I should've packed some more. It's okay, ask her who she texting, bet she grab her phone. I'm with Drake, got this nigga singing, it's my favorite song. Grab a plate, ate his dog food and want a second bowl. Hit the road, I stay in the chally like a second home.